What's going on, everybody? Nick Powills, publisher of 1851franchise.com, where we bring you stories of franchisors and franchisees that are making great things happen within the industry. Today, we're going to be joined by Josh Cahill, who is the CEO of Scoop Soldiers, for him to tell his why you, why now, and give a little bit of insight into the vision and execution of the business. Coming up next. Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. What I would love for you to do is start off and give us the state of the union with Scoop Soldiers. What has happened over the last few years? How are you looking into 2023, which will help us dive into what is the why you, why now?
No problem. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. We're super excited about where we've come over the last few years and where we're going. We started the company in 2011. At that point, probably 5 out of 10 people we would ask, hey, have you ever heard of a service like ours? 5 people wouldn't know. The great thing is we're in an emerging industry. More and more people are wanting services like ours to take care of their homes, buy their time back. And so as we grew our corporate operations towards 2018, 2019, we said, man, we really need some great leaders to come alongside us so we can fulfill our growth goals. And in 2019, we started franchising. Our first few franchisees were friends, people who had been watching us for a while, and we're really excited to jump into the opportunity. As you know, 2021 rolled around, we had COVID. It gave us a chance to really focus on our franchisees and kind of shift the mindset of our team to becoming a support organization to franchisees. In 2021, we started to build our support team heavily on the franchising side and also on the development side to help us find the right candidates to bring into our system. And that in 2021, we added 16 territories. 2022 was amazing for us. We added 22 territories. And more so than the growth, it's the people that we've brought into the system. Creative, supportive, hardworking, and we've got an amazing team now and a great group of franchisees that are helping us push the vision forward. And it's rewarding and fun to work with everyone that we have in the system right now. It's been amazing.
Right. So a lot to unpack, but let me start with support, because when I've evaluated the business, I've always been super impressed with the model that you put together. There are plenty of franchisors who say they support their franchisees, and when you look under the hood, it's like, yeah, we give you training when you sign, but you've actually built this infrastructure that allows the operator to actually go operate their business and not worry about all the back end. And before you kind of position this, I'll say, like, I think for franchise candidates, part of the issue is going into franchising is you may have had a sales or marketing or leadership or operations job in the past, but you're still, let's say you've been a sales professional, you're still missing marketing, labor relations, operations. Like, there's all these other elements to what it takes to operate a business. And as a small business that a non-franchise, you got to keep building all that up as you climb. You put that infrastructure in behind. So talk a little bit about the support before we go into the growth side.
Yeah, and it's our job to support franchisees. And so not only the system that we built, it's just the beginning. As we look forward, we want to continue to develop our support services, but we're really proud of what we do to give our franchisees and our team members the opportunity to focus on what they're best at and to focus on their team and growth. So to give you an example, we have a command center. We answer every call that's coming into any territory that we operate in, franchise or corporate. That way, and we have a big philosophy with our team, our customer care advocates, that most things should be one and done. So when somebody calls in, whether it's a concern, whether it's a compliment, whether it's just to update a credit card, that transaction, there is no need to draw in a franchisee who is busy working with their team, supporting their team, out there growing their business for something, for simple tasks. But even on the things that aren't so simple, the things that eat up everybody's time, invoicing, billing, charging credit cards, collections. We're doing all that on behalf of our franchisees. The thing is, they have access and can look at everything we're doing because we believe in accountability. We believe in transparency. So that's on the accounting side. That's something we do. On the sales side, not only are we out there generating the leads with our marketing experts that our franchisees meet with consistently, talk about strategy, understand what we're doing, but we have new accounts, salespeople who are taking those leads, processing them, putting them on the schedule for you on your most efficient day, and you're just notified through our technology to say, hey, we've got a new client here. You're notified as a franchisee. We've got it scheduled. This is their first date. Give them all that information. So we've got the marketing, lead generation, sales, scheduling, collections, accounting, all the phone calls and emails are being handled. And here's what makes our support services even a little different. Some of our franchisees want to be highly involved in some areas that others don't, but we can custom tailor and make sure that we're notifying the clients or our franchisees on anything that their clients are needing through automations and our technology system. So it's really powerful, and we found that everybody wonders, is the royalty going to be worth it? And when we first set out, we wanted to make sure that we never had that question. And the greatest thing is to hear from our franchisees that the royalty is worth it. They've never once blinked at it. And that's why we're going to continue to build our support services and keep that in mind in everything that we do.
So go back to 2020, because I think this is a part of a good brand biography, that when you can talk through how you handled things and kept an even mind and said, we're going to see an outcome or another side of what we're battling from a COVID standpoint. Where was your head at? I mean, you have a business that's 9 years old. You've franchised now for a year, so you've over invested to get this thing going, and life shuts down. Like, where is your head going in that moment?
Well, honestly, at first I thought, oh no, I mean, this could really hurt our business, because although we haven't really ever seen it in numbers, even through downturns like COVID, we've never gone backwards. We've always grown through it. But at the beginning, we didn't know that was going to happen. And so honestly, we wanted to focus on retention. We wanted to focus on support, being there for our franchisees, because when you think about a service like ours, a lot of people will say, oh, that's a luxury service. It's going to get cut off in a downturn in the economy. And even though we haven't seen that, there was that fear. On the flip side, it was great. I don't regret that we just took that time to be constantly in touch with our franchisees daily, keeping them up to date with what we're seeing globally, not just in their territories, but across the entire company. And taking the time to dial back growth a little bit to focus on what our customers are saying and what our franchise needs were. So it was the first week we did lose about 1% of our client base, and then from there we really didn't see anything. So it was a tremendous period, and a testament to how much our clients really love the service we provide.
I mean, you're probably at an advantage because the service is happening outdoors. So
exactly,
the businesses are going to be harmed because if their business operations are inside, the government is making changes too. So, like, obviously, recession friendly or recession proof is a category of franchise or franchises that use that as a headline for why us. But you can also say, like, in a time of crisis, there was a pathway to continuing to perform the service that you offer.
Absolutely. And that was a blessing to our team members, our franchisees, and our entire company.
Obviously, working within the restraints of what you can and can't say based on franchise law and the FDD. a very simple question that would be asked by candidates is, can I make money at this? Or what does the investment look like? The cost to get in and how much I can make is sound. If the question is, what is the business positioning or what is the business opportunity? How do you address those two things in the way that you would answer that question?
Sure, because there are folks that look at the opportunity and chuckle until they are able to look at our item 19 and see that this is a legitimate business. You can make money in this industry. The cost of goods sold are really labor, supplies, managing labor, managing your team, and making sure you're running things efficiently. This business, it's great. Everything is based on people, trucks, and limited supplies. It's not easy, but it's simple, but it's not easy to do it the right way. And the opportunity is there, especially because of our support services. You have the ability as a franchisee to go out there and focus on growth. And you'll hear me say that a lot, because a lot of times you're just tied up with the day-to-day operations, making sure timesheets are right. And our technology provides so many solutions that just free you up to take what we've done, and then you can go out there and put your touch on it and grow it even bigger and faster.
Do you ever think about why someone wouldn't buy? Let's say someone's at the finish line, they're like, this is not the right opportunity for me. And let's say they just turn into a ghost. They ghost you, they never respond. If you have the opportunity to answer or say, well, this is what you missed, why would someone not buy this? And what are they missing by not joining the Scoop Soldiers franchise family?
I would say one of the main reasons is after somebody goes through our discovery process, if they don't see the value in those support systems and structures, they may think, oh, well, I can go out there and do this on my own. And of course, they can, but it's going to be slower growth. It's going to be, a lot of trial and errors that we've already been there, done that. I like to tell a story of a time when we tried direct mail in one of our markets. And my business partner and I have this debate even early as today: is direct mail really dead? And we have a healthy debate with this, but we've tried these things. We went out and did massive campaigns of direct mail, and we could have been better off just driving down the highway throwing out $100 bills as we went along. We've made these mistakes. We've tried any and everything. We love to try new things. We love to go out there and test the market. But the concept of, oh, I can do this on my own. The team that we have behind you as a franchisee of Scoop Soldiers is unparalleled. Just the salaries of our marketing department. Yes, you can go out there and market your business, but the expertise and what we're able to bring to the table in our system, it just accelerates your growth. It accelerates your growth, stops you from making the mistakes that we've made. And as I mentioned, it seems simple, but it's not easy. And especially targeting and finding the right clients who want our service, that's something that we've become experts at. And I would say another reason that somebody may back out is they just can't imagine saying that they scoop poop for a living, which I love. I think it's hilarious. And even in my family, when we first started, it's crazy now. We can't go by a Thanksgiving without the topic of poop coming up. So you've got to have a sense of humor, and you've got to be able to chuckle at what we do, because it does blow people away, and it's got kind of a funny tone. And some people may not be able to handle saying that they're a poop scooper.
Well, and obviously for a candidate that can look at some of the numbers as a part of going through the process and getting access to an FDD, you can then look at what you can actually make here. And then, that's part of, for someone that's on the edge and says, I should go do this on my own. For the right hustler, I'm sure they could set up a business that is competitive in the space But it's not just what you trekked through as owner of Scoop Soldiers. You also own other businesses. Can you talk about that? Because you're still cross-applying lessons learned from your other businesses into Scoop Soldiers. Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. My business partner and I, we've started, especially he started in lawn care since I joined with him, again, about 11, 12 years ago. We expanded into pest control, into fertilization, weed control, window washing, a myriad of home services. And, we joke all the time, if we were to lose it all tomorrow and needed to start back up, we would go the Scoop Soldiers route, because it's fun. Look, anything to do with pets is amazing. We're definitely dog lovers. And so just being able to see the dogs and get out there and do that is a huge part of why people love our concept and love getting to work with pets. But yeah, we've got experience in a lot of home services, and we're continuing to expand that brand as well. But my focus is definitely Scoop Soldiers and continuing to support on the franchising side. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of home services for a long time. I would say between our companies, especially during the spring, we're probably serving anywhere from 20 to 30,000 customers a week between these different services. So we understand what clients are looking for. We understand providing value. We understand innovation, and it's been tremendous to be able to have the experience in not only Scoop Soldiers, but a myriad of home services.
Well, I think that's the magic of it, because the reality is the majority of the services that you offer through your businesses are services that if a human being, if the homeowner really wants to go do that work and use their time to do that work, they could. And so you need to understand, how do we market the opportunity value of saying, don't spend your time doing this, we got you covered. And so all the learnings that you've done throughout your businesses then can be cross-applied over to Scoop Soldiers, where we start off this conversation thinking like, is the homeowner really willing to pay for this? And they said yes at the beginning. They said yes when you started franchising. They said yes during COVID, and they're saying yes now. So that's I think that's part of the value that you're pulling out, which then gets related back to the support side. When you think about 23, I mean, clearly you're selling territories, which means there's going to be a diminishing of availability for buyers that want to get into this business. Do you expect much of the same in 23? And are you already having early indicators now that we're in February?
Absolutely. We're getting a lot of inquiries. We're taking a lot of people through the pipeline, getting them familiar with the process of being awarded a Scoop Soldiers franchise. The demand's been great, and I think even as we issue our item 19 and our new FTD this year, I think it's just going to get even stronger. The demand for candidates to figure out more about our system. We are shooting for at minimum 30% growth next year in revenues across the board, which will take us to a nice new level. Yeah, we plan on continuing to blow this out. As far as territories that are available, one thing that's a little unique in the opportunity that we have is what we like to call enhanced territories. So these are corporate territories that we've been running in most cases for multiple years that we offer up to be converted to franchises. And this has been a tremendous area of growth for us, and it's been very advantageous to our franchisees, because when they take over a territory, they can acquire the clients within it, and from day one have strong revenues, have team members, have trucks, and it's truly turnkey. A lot of people like to say that they have a turnkey business. This truly is. And so what we're doing in anticipation of the demand that we have right now is continuing our corporate expansion and seeding those markets. Currently this year, we've already expanded to Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going into Seattle, Washington, D.C. Northern Virginia and Chicago, Kansas City. We're doing that all corporately to get these markets seeded. That way our franchisees will have a nice foundation to start with in those areas when they become acquired.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because part of the challenge for a franchise buyer is fear of unknown and fear of salary replacement when jumping into a business. And the reality is, what you're doing is you're setting up a cash flow model where you can actually replace both of those on day one. And if you look at the total investment, and obviously you'd have to go through disclosures with Scoop Soldiers, but for a buyer, you look at the cost to get in, it's still very sound with some of the biggest franchises that exist, yet you're hitting cash flow that is much greater than some of the brick and mortars that exist. So I think it's a non-traditional approach from where I stand. I haven't seen many brands do it. Some of them do it on accident because they have resales available, but it's not proactively thinking through how do we cut out some of that stress point that a franchise owner is going to go through by creating enhanced markets.
Yep, and we want to continue to do that because it's just worked really well for our franchisees. We've also, last year was the first year we went into markets franchise-wise that we were not operating in. And again, I'll go back to the marketing expertise of our team. We've been able to grow those and meet the expectations of our franchisees. My expectations are never really met, but our franchisees' expectations have been met in those new territories where we haven't had any business, and even territories that have been a little unique compared to what we've expanded into previously corporately. And they're thriving and they're growing, and so we're excited about that. So although we have those enhanced territories, we're going to continue to have franchisees start up in areas where we haven't been operating as well.
Josh, if I close with tell me what the why you, why now is, how do you answer that?
The why is we work tirelessly to support our franchisees. We're growing. Territories are becoming unavailable. We have several markets that are totally sold out right now, but there's still plenty of territory out there. This industry is just continuing to grow. As I mentioned earlier, it's an emerging industry. More and more people are just now finding out about it. And even though it's been around for 20 plus years, this is the time to get in. I would say there's been probably 100 competitors I've seen start up in the last year or year and a half. The market's really fragmented. We're going to be an authority in the pet waste removal industry. And so join with us now because it's only going to get more complicated to find the great territory you want. And our team is the most dedicated around. And I think even if you just start the research through with our development team, you'll see that.
Love it. Obviously, for any candidate that is looking for more information, you can find it on the Scoop Soldiers franchise website, or you can search for them within 1851 and find more information on that opportunity. Josh, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I think to those that are looking at this as an outsider, I think it's important to hear the CEO's vision. And clearly, you've built up a good pulse on this business. You're preparing for growth, and we're excited to see where this thing goes. So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone.